Welcome to Daily Stoic Practice, your compass to navigate the complexities of modern life with ancient wisdom. What if I told you that the life you're living right now, yes, the one you might feel stuck in, isn't set in stone? That everything, and I mean everything, could change not by some dramatic overhaul, but through tiny, deliberate choices you make every single day. You see, we tend to focus on the big stuff, chasing success, earning more money, fixing every problem overnight. But here's a truth that's as ancient as it is powerful. Real transformation starts with mastering the seemingly insignificant. The Stoics thinkers, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, understood this better than anyone. They didn't talk about controlling the world around them. They talked about mastering the world within their thoughts, actions, and responses to life's chaos. And here's the kicker. Habits are still the key to living a life of purpose, resilience, and meaning today. In this video, I'm going to share simple yet life-altering habits inspired by Stoic philosophy. They're not about working harder or doing more. They're about becoming more. Stick with me, because what you'll learn today just might change the way you live tomorrow. First, let's consider the cornerstone of a fulfilling life: the relationships we cultivate. When you think about the most important aspects of your life, what comes to mind? Is it your career, your personal achievements, or maybe the material things you've accumulated? The Stoics, particularly Seneca, believed that the true wealth of life lies in the quality of your relationships. Imagine for a moment that your life is like a garden. The people around you, the ones you call friends, family, or loved ones, are the plants that either flourish or wither depending on how you care for them. Stoic philosophers like Seneca taught that meaningful relationships are not just nice to have, they're essential to living a virtuous and fulfilling life. In fact, they argued that the connections we cultivate with others can be a mirror to our own growth as individuals. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, wrote extensively about friendship and its role in personal development. He believed that true friends don't just give us company, but help us to become better versions of ourselves. They challenge us, support us, and hold up a mirror so we can see the areas where we need to grow. He emphasized that relationships should be built on mutual respect, trust, and a shared commitment to growth. If your relationships are not elevating your spirit, if they are draining you instead of nurturing you, then perhaps it's time to rethink their nature. Real connections, according to Seneca, should inspire you to be more virtuous, more thoughtful, and more aligned with your values. But how do we cultivate such deep, meaningful relationships in today's world, where distractions are endless, and true connection often seems elusive? It begins with empathy. We've all been there. You're having a conversation with someone, but your mind is elsewhere. Maybe you're scrolling through your phone or thinking about what you're going to say next, rather than truly listening. Stoic philosophy challenges us to be present with others, to really understand their perspectives before we react or offer our own opinions. This doesn't just apply to romantic relationships, but to all relationships, whether it's a conversation with a friend, a colleague, or even a stranger. Taking the time to truly listen, to understand the feelings and experiences of others, not only strengthens your connection with them, but also makes you a better, more compassionate person. Another key aspect of Stoic relationships is the practice of being present. It sounds simple, right? But how many times have you been with loved ones, yet your attention is split? Maybe you're thinking about work, or checking your phone during dinner, or just not fully engaged in the moment. The Stoics would argue that this is a disservice to both you and the people around you. When we're with those we care about, We have an obligation to show up fully, to give them our undivided attention, and to be there not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. This is one of the greatest gifts we can give to our relationships, the gift of being there. This kind of presence helps to deepen the bond, making those moments together more meaningful. Lastly, let's talk about gratitude. It's easy to take the people around us for granted, especially those we see every day. But gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for strengthening relationships. It's so simple, yet so profound. A simple thank you can go a long way in letting someone know they are appreciated. Stoics like Epictetus often reminded themselves to practice gratitude, even for the small things. Whether it's thanking a colleague for their hard work, expressing appreciation to a friend for their support, or just acknowledging the love and care from a family member. These small acts of gratitude can make all the difference. In relationships, it's not the grand gestures that matter most. It's the consistent, everyday actions that show we care. Relationships thrive on consistent care and understanding. It's about showing up for people, being there when they need you, and offering them a sense of respect, empathy, and genuine attention. The Stoics didn't expect us to have perfect relationships or never make mistakes, but they did expect us to approach our relationships with intentionality, mindfulness, and integrity. So how can you apply these Stoic principles to your relationships today? Start with empathy. Listen before you react. Seek to understand rather than to be understood. Be present, put away distractions, and engage fully with the people you care about. And don't forget to express your gratitude regularly. Relationships take work, but they also bring immense rewards. And in the end, it's these relationships, the ones built on respect, care, and understanding, that truly make life meaningful. Now let's shift to a habit that builds not just character, but also capability: the practice of lifelong learning. Let me ask you something. How often do you take a moment to reflect on what you've learned in the day? Not just what you've been taught, but what you've truly understood. In today's fast-paced world, we're bombarded with information all the time. But how much of it sticks? How much of it actually helps us grow? The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, saw learning as far more than an academic pursuit. For them, learning wasn't about acquiring knowledge for the sake of it. It was about wisdom. It was a pathway to becoming a better, more virtuous person. They saw learning as a lifelong commitment, something that you continuously engage in, not because you have to, but because it's an essential part of living well. Marcus Aurelius himself, despite being the emperor of Rome, never stopped learning. In fact, one of his most remarkable qualities was his humility when it came to knowledge. As the ruler of one of the greatest empires in history, you'd think he'd have all the answers, but instead, he was constantly questioning, reflecting, and refining his understanding of life. Even in the midst of his busy reign, he took time to study philosophy, meditate on the nature of existence, and remind himself that wisdom and self-improvement were lifelong journeys. This brings us to an important Stoic lesson: never stop learning. The idea is not to simply accumulate facts, but to seek understanding that deepens over time. It's about developing critical thinking skills that allow you to navigate life more wisely. So how can you put this into action? Let's look at a few practical ways to embrace learning every day, no matter where you are in life. First, practice critical thinking. It's easy to take things at face value, whether it's the latest news, a piece of advice from a friend, or a difficult situation you're facing. But the Stoics would encourage you to dig deeper. Don't just accept things as they are. Ask yourself, why did this happen? What's beneath the surface of this challenge or conflict? By questioning the root causes and looking beyond the immediate reactions, you begin to see the world through a clearer lens. It's not about being skeptical or cynical, but about developing a mindset that doesn't take things for granted. This allows you to make decisions that are based on wisdom, not impulse. Another powerful tool in the Stoic approach to lifelong learning is evening reflection. Every night, take 5 or 10 minutes to journal about your day. What lesson did you learn? It doesn't matter if it's something profound or something small. What matters is that you actively engage with your day, process it, and extract meaning from it. This could come from a conversation, a book you read, a mistake you made, or even a challenge you overcame. The key here is consistency. Over time, you'll find that your reflections don't just help you understand the events of your day better. They start to shape how you respond to life's ups and downs. Additionally, explore diverse perspectives. The Stoics didn't just read the works of other Stoic philosophers, they learned from everyone. They sought wisdom from different sources and were open to new ideas, even when those ideas challenged their own beliefs. So how can you do this? Read widely, don't just stick to one genre or area of interest. Listen to podcasts, attend talks, or even engage in conversations that stretch your thinking. When you hear someone express an idea that feels completely foreign or even uncomfortable, instead of shutting it down, try to understand where they're coming from. This openness to new perspectives not only broadens your intellectual horizons, but it also helps you grow as a person. But here's the thing, it's not just about learning more, it's about learning better. It's not enough to fill your mind with information. The Stoics teach us that wisdom comes when we apply what we've learned to our lives. That's where the real transformation happens. The more you practice critical thinking, reflect daily, and embrace diverse perspectives, the more your mind becomes a tool for navigating life's challenges with wisdom and clarity. So, what's stopping you from embracing lifelong learning today? It's never too late to start. Whether you're reading a book, taking a course, or simply reflecting on your day, each step you take in the pursuit of wisdom brings you closer to becoming the best version of yourself. And just like Marcus Aurelius, remember that learning isn't a destination, it's a way of living. A journey that lasts a lifetime. The more you dedicate yourself to this path, the more equipped you'll be to make thoughtful decisions, approach problems with confidence, and lead a life of purpose. After all, knowledge may be power, but wisdom, the kind that comes from understanding yourself and the world around you, is the true key to living a meaningful life. So how will you embrace learning today? What lesson will you carry with you into tomorrow? Equally important is cultivating a resilient mindset. Let's talk about your mindset, because if there's one thing that defines how you navigate the chaos of life, it's that. And no, I'm not talking about plastering a fake smile on your face and pretending everything's fine. A Stoic mindset goes so much deeper. It's about training yourself to see the world clearly, without the fog of unchecked emotions or the distortion of irrational thoughts. Think of your mind as a camera lens. If it's scratched, dirty, or fogged up, everything you see will appear flawed even when it's not. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, believed in constantly cleaning that lens. They practiced observing their thoughts as if they were scientists, dissecting them, questioning them, and aligning them with what's real, not just what feels real in the heat of the moment. Every day, life throws situations at you that are completely outside your control. A sudden traffic jam, a rude comment, bad weather, or unexpected delays. And let's be honest, it's easy to let those moments hijack your mood, even your entire day. But here's where Stoicism flips the script. Instead of wasting energy on things you can't control, it teaches you to focus on the one thing you can, your response. So how do you start cultivating this kind of resilience? First, let's master the pause. You know that split second before you snap at someone, complain, or let frustration take over? That's your golden moment. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is my reaction helping me or hurting me? Just that pause can stop you from spiraling and give you a chance to choose a better response. Another powerful tool is reflection. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes, yes, just 5, and write down how you handled the challenges that came your way. Did you stay calm? Or did something push you off balance? What could you have done differently? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about learning. Because every day gives you a chance to improve, even just a little. And then there's my favorite Stoic exercise, the view from above. Picture yourself zooming out from your current situation, way out, like you're looking at your life from space. Suddenly, that argument or missed deadline doesn't seem so colossal anymore, does it? This exercise helps you see the bigger picture, reminding you that what feels overwhelming in the moment is often just a small bump on a much longer road. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, one deliberate choice at a time. And the beauty of this? It's not about avoiding challenges or pretending they don't exist. It's about learning to face them with clarity and grace, knowing you have the tools to stay grounded no matter what life throws your way. Start small, pause, reflect, zoom out. With these practices, you're not just reacting to life, you're mastering it. And that's the essence of a Stoic mindset. Of course, none of this is possible without taking care of yourself, body, mind, and soul. Let's dive into a concept that might surprise you. For the Stoics, health wasn't just about the body. It wasn't about looking good in the mirror or fitting into a certain size. Stoic philosophy views health as a holistic balance, a harmony between the physical, mental, and emotional aspects of who we are. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that nurturing the body supports the soul, and nurturing the soul strengthens the body. It's this synergy that leads to true well-being. Now, this is important because in today's world, we often treat these areas of our lives separately, almost as if they're disconnected. We obsess over physical appearance or focus solely on mental development without considering how both are intertwined. Stoicism teaches us that neglecting one part of this balance, whether it's your body, your mind, or your emotions, can throw everything off. The good news? You have the power to change that, and the Stoics offer practical guidance on how to integrate care for both your body and mind. The key is to approach them not as chores, but as essential everyday practices for a flourishing life. First, let's talk about exercise, and I'm not just referring to hitting the gym to burn off calories. For the Stoics, exercise was a practice in discipline, perseverance, and self-control. The physical body is your vessel, and just as you'd care for any valuable tool, you need to maintain it. Whether you're going for a morning run, doing yoga, or simply walking each day, the point is to commit to consistency. Treat your workouts as a Stoic practice, not as something you do because you have to, but because it strengthens your willpower and discipline. When you're consistent, you build resilience. When you push through discomfort, you learn perseverance. That's the Stoic way. Next, we have mindful eating. Now, this isn't about counting calories or following the latest diet fad. The Stoics believed in avoiding extremes, so no binging or starving yourself. Instead, it's about nourishing both the body and the mind with balanced meals. It's about making choices that fuel your energy, promote clarity, and support long-term health. When you eat mindfully, You're not just eating to fill your stomach. You're eating with intention, choosing foods that give you the energy to pursue your goals and the mental clarity to handle whatever life throws your way. And then, there's the often overlooked practice of meditation. Stoicism isn't just about controlling your physical body, it's also about mastering your inner world. A mind that's cluttered with worries, distractions, or negative thoughts can't function at its best. So start each day with a simple mindfulness practice. Even if it's just 10 minutes in the morning, take time to clear your mind, focus on the present moment, and set your intentions for the day. The goal isn't to stop your thoughts, but to observe them without judgment and create space between you and the chaos. Over time, this practice will train your mind to stay focused, calm, and resilient no matter what comes your way. When you prioritize both your physical and mental health, you're not just improving one aspect of your life, you're building a strong foundation for everything else. The body, the mind, and the emotions are all interconnected. When you nourish them equally, you create a life of balance and vitality. And remember, these aren't isolated practices, they feed into each other. The discipline you cultivate through exercise strengthens your mental resolve. The clarity from meditation helps you make mindful choices about what you eat. And when you feel good physically, your mind has the energy to tackle challenges with a clear, calm focus. The Stoic view on health isn't about perfection. It's about making intentional choices every day that support a healthy, flourishing life. And while these habits may feel small at first, they add up over time, creating a foundation for true well-being that can weather any storm. So how will you take care of yourself today physically, mentally, and emotionally? The choice is yours, and it's one that can transform your life step by step. Creativity, often seen as the opposite of discipline, is actually deeply connected to Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us to focus on reason, self-discipline, and emotional control, while creativity often feels messy, spontaneous, and full of uncertainty. But what if I told you that the Stoic mindset actually nurtures creativity in some surprising ways? Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, was not only a philosopher and emperor, but also someone who deeply appreciated the arts. He found wisdom in poetry and art, using them as tools to refine his understanding of human nature and the world. Far from being stifled by Stoic principles, Marcus Aurelius embraced creativity as a means of deepening his philosophical insights and expressing his thoughts on life. So, if you've ever felt that your creative impulses don't fit into your life of discipline and reason, think again. Creativity doesn't have to be chaotic or indulgent. It can be a structured and intentional part of your personal development. Let's talk about how you can foster creativity in your own life with a Stoic twist. First, explore curiosity. Creativity often begins with asking questions. Stoicism encourages us to question our assumptions and examine life deeply. So take a moment each day to ask yourself, what problem can I solve creatively today? It doesn't have to be something grand or world-changing. It could be a small problem, like finding a more efficient way to organize your day or coming up with a fresh perspective on a challenge at work. The key is to approach each day with a mindset of curiosity and a willingness to explore new solutions. This habit trains your mind to be open to creative possibilities in all areas of life. Next, engage in art. Now, I'm not saying you have to become a professional painter or musician, but Stoicism recognizes the value of creative expression. Whether it's through writing, painting, music, or any other form of art, creative activities allow you to express your thoughts and emotions in unique ways. These practices can serve as a form of personal reflection and growth. Marcus Aurelius himself was known to write in his journal, a process that allowed him to wrestle with his thoughts, challenges, and desires. Writing or drawing isn't just about the finished product. It's a process that helps you make sense of the world and your place in it. So pick up that pen or paintbrush. Let your mind flow freely and allow creativity to become a tool for self-reflection and emotional release. Another powerful Stoic approach to creativity is combining disciplines. The Stoics were masters at connecting seemingly unrelated ideas. Marcus Aurelius, for example, combined philosophy with his role as an emperor to make decisions that would balance reason and compassion. In your own life, consider how you might combine ideas from different fields or areas of interest. Perhaps you work in technology and have a passion for philosophy, or maybe you're an artist with a keen interest in science. Don't limit yourself to just one way of thinking. By merging knowledge and skills from diverse areas, you can create new, innovative solutions to problems and unlock your creative potential in unexpected ways. The world of creativity isn't confined to a single path. It's about connecting the dots between various ideas and seeing what new possibilities emerge. Ultimately, creativity isn't just about producing something tangible. It's about exploring and understanding the world more deeply. The Stoics valued self-awareness, reflection, and a profound understanding of life. Creativity in this context becomes a way to engage with the world in a more meaningful and thoughtful way. Whether you're working on a project, exploring a new hobby, or simply reflecting on your day, allow creativity to enhance your journey of self-discovery. By adopting these Stoic practices, you don't have to choose between creativity and discipline. Instead, you can integrate both into your life in a way that nurtures your growth, fuels your passion, and ultimately makes you more connected to the world around you. So the next time you sit down to work on a creative project, remember, Stoicism can help you bring more depth and intentionality to your art. At the heart of Stoicism is the idea of purpose. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you were to ask someone what they really want from life, many would answer with something along the lines of, I just want to be happy, or I want to feel fulfilled. But what does that actually mean? What's the key to finding true happiness and fulfillment? The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, had a simple yet profound answer: purpose. What does this mean? It means that the essence of who we are, the way we think, the actions we take, and the things we focus on shapes our character and ultimately our life. So, if we want a life that feels meaningful, we must be deliberate about what we focus on, what values we hold dear, and what kind of impact we want to have. A life lived with purpose is a life lived with intention. And when you align your actions with your purpose, you'll find that everything else falls into place. It's not about having everything figured out or achieving massive goals overnight. It's about ensuring that the choices you make today are moving you in the direction of your highest values. Let's break down how we can start living with more purpose, inspired by Stoicism. First, define your purpose. This step is about taking the time to really reflect on what matters most to you. What are your core values? What are the things that light you up? Things that make you feel deeply alive? And then, think about your long-term vision. Who do you want to become? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Purpose isn't just a buzzword or a vague idea. It's the foundation of how you live your life every day. It's about knowing where you're headed and ensuring that your thoughts, actions, and decisions align with that vision. Next, act with intention. Living with purpose is not just about having a clear idea of what matters to you. It's about translating that into daily action. This means being intentional with how you spend your time, energy, and resources. The Stoics often talked about the importance of focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. When you live with intention, you're choosing to invest in what truly moves you closer to your goals. For example, instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media, you might decide to spend that time reading, journaling, or working on a passion project. It's about making each moment count by choosing actions that reflect your purpose. Finally, share your journey. One of the most powerful ways to live with purpose is to inspire others by sharing your goals, your progress, and the challenges you face along the way. When you openly discuss your purpose and how you're aligning your life with it, you not only hold yourself accountable, but you also invite others to reflect on their own purpose. Purpose isn't just something you keep to yourself. It's a force that can positively impact the world around you. By sharing your journey, you create a ripple effect that encourages others to think more deeply about their own lives and take action toward their own sense of meaning. It's important to remember that purpose isn't a fixed destination. It's a compass that guides your daily actions and decisions. You might not have everything figured out right now, and that's okay. Purpose isn't about perfection. It's about being aligned with your core values and continually moving forward. As Marcus Aurelius would say, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the challenges you face on your journey are actually opportunities to deepen your purpose and grow stronger in your resolve. In the end, living with purpose is one of the most powerful ways to create a life that feels fulfilling. It gives you clarity when things feel uncertain, it motivates you to keep going when things get tough, and it helps you focus on what really matters. And remember, just like any other habit, living with purpose takes practice. It's about being conscious of your choices, reflecting on your actions, and constantly aligning yourself with your higher goals. So, take a moment today to reflect on your purpose. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What kind of person do I want to be? And then take one small action to move you closer to that vision. Purpose isn't a destination, it's a lifelong journey. Next, let's talk about productivity, not the frantic, busy kind, but the stoic kind. When you hear the word productivity, what comes to mind? For many of us, it conjures images of packed schedules, endless to-do lists, and the constant pressure to do more, faster. But here's the thing, the Stoics had a very different perspective on productivity. For them, it wasn't about being busy, it was about being purposeful. They believed that every action you take should align with your values and long-term goals, not just the demands of the moment. Imagine this. Instead of filling your day with 100 tasks, you focus on doing just a few things that truly matter. Things that move you closer to who you want to become. That's Stoic productivity. So how do we apply this in our daily lives? First, it starts with morning reflection. Before you dive into the rush of the day, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, what truly matters today? This simple question can set the tone for everything that follows. Instead of being swept away by the urgent distractions, this is your opportunity to choose what's important. Whether it's focusing on a work project that aligns with your career goals, or dedicating time to a personal relationship that needs nurturing, the idea is to prioritize the tasks that will bring you closer to your long-term aspirations. By consciously deciding what matters, you align your day with purpose, not reaction. Another Stoic practice that ties into this is the art of focused attention. The world is full of distractions, and multitasking has become a badge of honor in our modern society. But the Stoics would argue that multitasking doesn't lead to productivity. It leads to scattered energy and diminished quality. When you spread your attention across too many things at once, it's impossible to give any one task the focus it deserves. Instead, Stoic productivity is about concentrating fully on the task at hand. Whether you're working on a project, having a conversation, or even just reading a book, give it your undivided attention. Apply reason and critical thinking as you work, and be fully present in the moment. This focus doesn't just help you do things faster, but it also ensures that you're doing them with intention, precision, and care. Now, let's talk about time management. If you're someone who feels overwhelmed by your endless to-do list, the Eisenhower Matrix can be a game changer. This simple tool helps you distinguish between tasks that are urgent and those that are truly important. The Eisenhower Matrix divides tasks into 4 categories: urgent and important. Do these immediately. Important but not urgent. Schedule these. Urgent but not important. Delegate these. Neither urgent nor important. Eliminate these. By using this framework, you can quickly assess your daily tasks and figure out what actually deserves your time and energy. This helps prevent you from falling into the trap of responding to every urgent demand, leaving you with more time to focus on what's truly important, whether it's working on a project that contributes to your long-term goals, spending time with your family, or investing in your personal growth. The key takeaway here is that intentionality is everything. Productivity isn't about squeezing every last drop out of your day, but about working with purpose. By reflecting each morning on what truly matters, focusing deeply on one task at a time, and using tools like the Eisenhower Matrix to manage your time, you'll find that you can accomplish more with less stress and greater clarity. By embracing Stoic productivity, you shift from being busy to being effective. You stop reacting to the chaos of the world around you, and instead, you start living and working with intention. This not only makes your day more fulfilling, but it also brings you closer to the person you're striving to become. You begin to realize that true productivity is not about how much you do, it's about doing what matters most. So, take a moment each day to reflect on your priorities. Focus your attention where it counts. And remember, working with intention will always lead to greater success and far less stress. Finale. When we think about money, it's easy to get caught up in the chase for more. The world constantly tells us we need bigger houses, flashier cars, or the latest gadgets to be happy. But what if I told you that the Stoics, those ancient philosophers who mastered the art of living, had a radically different take on money? They didn't see wealth as the key to happiness. In fact, they valued contentment over extravagance. Seneca, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, often advised his followers to focus on what they need rather than what they want. For the Stoics, financial health wasn't about how much you have, it was about how wisely you manage what you have. Now, this isn't about depriving yourself or living like a monk. It's about creating a balanced, thoughtful approach to money that brings freedom and peace of mind, rather than stress or anxiety. Let's break down how you can start developing financial prudence in a way that aligns with Stoic wisdom. First, we need to talk about budgeting with purpose. So many people live paycheck to paycheck, unaware of where their money is actually going. The Stoics, however, would have approached money with a clear plan, grounded in rationality. They would ask themselves, what do I truly need? And what do I want, but don't really need? There's a big difference. When you identify your needs versus your wants, you can start to allocate your resources in a way that serves your true priorities. That new phone or trendy outfit might seem essential, But ask yourself, is it really adding value to my life? Or is it just a fleeting desire? By focusing on what truly matters, you can prevent impulse purchases and start saving for things that align with your long-term goals. Next up, saving consistently. Now, I know saving can feel like a challenge, especially when life is unpredictable. But one of the Stoic principles is embracing the idea of steady progress, no matter how small. Saving doesn't have to mean putting away huge amounts of money every month. It's about consistency. Even if you start with a small amount, the key is to make it a habit. Whether it's 5%, 10%, or even just a few dollars a week, putting something aside each month creates a sense of financial discipline. And over time, you'll see that little by little, your savings add up. Remember, it's not about how much you save, but about the practice of saving regularly that builds your financial resilience. Finally, investing wisely. In a world filled with get-rich-quick schemes and risky opportunities, Stoicism offers a refreshing perspective. The Stoics would advise us to avoid impulsive decisions and instead focus on sustainable, long-term investments. Whether it's in stocks, real estate, or even your own personal development, the Stoic mindset encourages us to be patient and strategic with our financial decisions. Think about it. Just as a plant grows slowly and steadily, so does true wealth. By focusing on long-term gains rather than short-term thrills, you can avoid the pitfalls of financial speculation and build lasting prosperity. The Stoic approach to money isn't about striving for constant accumulation or comparing ourselves to others. It's about finding contentment with what we have, practicing discipline, and making thoughtful decisions that lead to lasting peace of mind. By budgeting with purpose, saving consistently, and investing wisely, you begin to cultivate financial freedom. Not just freedom in terms of material wealth, but freedom from financial stress, anxiety, and the never-ending cycle of consumerism. In the end, financial prudence is about understanding that true wealth doesn't come from having more, it comes from needing less, and managing what you have with wisdom. It's about building a life where you're free to focus on the things that matter most, without being weighed down by the burden of financial worry. And as the Stoics remind us, true peace comes not from having more, but from living wisely with what we already have. Living a Stoic life isn't about striving for perfection. It's about progress, small, consistent steps that shape who you are over time. Each day, you have the opportunity to build resilience, wisdom, and fulfillment, simply by making intentional choices. Whether it's taking a pause before reacting in frustration, prioritizing your health with exercise, or nurturing your relationships with empathy, every action counts. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its simplicity and practicality. It's not about grand gestures. It's about the habits you develop and how they align with your values. So as you move forward, remember this. Each small step you take, whether it's journaling your thoughts, reflecting on your purpose, or investing in meaningful connections, is part of the path toward a virtuous life. Take these insights and apply them today. Keep progressing and watch as these habits transform your life. If this resonates with you, please like and subscribe to Daily Stoic Practice and share your insights in the comments. Your thoughts may inspire others on their own journeys to inner peace and resilience. Don't miss our daily videos, insightful discussions, and practical tips for applying Stoic principles to your modern life.